Hello, I'm at Melbourne's Tullamarine Airport, and today we're going to be travelling on the newest member of Qantas's fleet, the Airbus A220-300. She's a brand new plane. Her name is Koala. It's going to be a 2-hour roughly flight to Brisbane, and we're going to be travelling in business class. The A220 has the largest windows on any single aisle airplane. So come along and find out what it's like. Qantas's first A220, which you can see here, is painted in a special Indigenous livery and arrived in Australia in December 2023. But today we'll be travelling on QantasLink's second A220. We can't discuss the Airbus A220 without mentioning the Boeing 717. That's because the A220 is replacing QantasLink's 717s, most of which have been in service for more than 20 years and so aren't terribly fuel efficient. QantasLink's 20 Boeing 717s will be replaced by 29 A220s as part of a fleet renewal program. Qantas started retiring its 717s in 2023, with the last one expected to retire by the end of 2024. And that brings us to the A220. Known for its roomy cabin, large windows and spacious overhead bins, Airbus says the A220 was designed to feel like a wide-body aircraft. Some people have called it a mini A350. QantasLink currently has 2 A220s, which are being used on Melbourne to Canberra and Melbourne to Brisbane routes. The A220 has almost twice the range of the Boeing 717, giving them the ability to fly non-stop between any 2 destinations in Australia and the potential to introduce new international routes. From Melbourne, the A220 could serve New Zealand, Fiji and even Jakarta. However, Qantas has yet to announce any international routes for this aircraft. Here's our aircraft arriving from Canberra. Another A220 is scheduled to arrive in June 2024 for use on Melbourne to Hobart flights, with additional routes being served from October. I originally booked this flight in economy, so was excited to receive this message overnight. She's parked next to one of the aircraft she'll replace. On a per-seat basis, the A220-300 burns 28% less fuel per passenger than the 717. Hopping on board, the A220 features 10 business class seats in a 2x2 arrangement. There are spacious overhead lockers, and the seats have both USB-A and USB-C charging ports.
Hi everyone. If you are seated at an overwing exit or row 1 in the business cabin, all cabin baggage needs to be stowed in the overhead locker.
There's also a wireless charging pad here, and 2 more charging ports. It's a bit ambiguous, but it looks like you're not meant to use it during taxi, takeoff and landing. Here's the footrest.
Cabin. All cabin baggage needs to be stowed in the overhead locker.
And up here is a shelf that can hold a tablet secured with this hook. There's also a little lamp here.
Wing exit or row 1.
The seat has adjustable headrest wings. And here's one of the 2 large windows at my seat. Above you'll find reading lamps and adjustable air nozzles. This aircraft was built in Montreal and delivered in January 2024. It's powered by Pratt & Whitney engines. There are pop-out coat hooks. We push back a few minutes ahead of schedule.
Today you're flying on a QantasLink Airbus A220. Here are a few points on how your seatbelt works. Before we get underway, make sure all your bags are either in the overhead locker or under the seat in front of you. Unplug any cables attached to the seat in front. And if you missed any of this, it's on the safety card in your seat pocket.
In the seat pocket, you'll find a safety card, a sick bag, and the Qantas magazine. We taxi to Tullamarines Cross Runway 27. This family of aircraft started life as the Bombardier C Series. It was rebranded as the A220 in 2018 after Airbus acquired a majority stake in the program. We have to wait for this Air New Zealand A320 to land on runway 16 before we're cleared for takeoff. Now that the seatbelt sign is off, we can use wireless charging. My iPhone, which is a Pro Max, just fits in the nook. However, I did find the charging seems to cut in and out. I'd say the aircraft is noticeably quieter than an A320 or a 737, a standard aircraft. I mean, it's not quiet, but it's definitely not as loud as older generation aircraft. The windows are very noticeably big, which is obviously a great feature if you love admiring the views like I do. We're flying over Benalla in northeastern Victoria.
I'm on board QantasLink Flight 1260 service through to Brisbane. It's coming up about 85 kilometres now to the northeast of Melbourne Airport. We're passing up through 19,000 feet. On our way up to a cruising altitude this afternoon of 37,000 feet, and 1 hour and 45 minutes flying time remaining from this point on. Our flight path today takes us straight over the top of Mudgee and Tamworth, into the west of the Gold Coast before setting ourselves up for approach landing into Brisbane. Current indications have us disembarking about 5 minutes ahead of schedule at 5:45 this evening. Keep in mind there is a 1 hour time zone change between Victoria and Queensland.
And you'll find the seat tray in business is in the armrest. Here's the tray table, which has both half and full positions. It can be moved forward and back. It also has a built-in tablet holder, so you're really spoilt for choice in terms of tablet holders and charging ports. Here's what the seatback tablet holder looks like with an iPad fixed in position. As you'd expect, the A220 has in-flight Wi-Fi. Qantas decided against fitting entertainment screens on these aircraft, so you'll need to stream content to your own device. I found internet speeds to be pretty fast, good enough to stream video. Time for the meal service. This is a mid-afternoon flight, so sort of between main meals. The options are a ploughman's plate with a selection of cheeses or a heated ham and cheese croissant. I'm having the croissant. I choose sparkling wine as my drink. Sourdough bread is also offered, but I don't need it. So the croissant is fine, it tastes fine, but it's a bit underwhelming as a business class meal offering. Definitely had better. It tasted fine, as I say, although it didn't look terribly appealing. For dessert, we get this cocoa black milk chocolate, and because it's the Easter long weekend, some bonus hazelnut praline bunnies. Good chocolate. I'm offered another drink and choose red wine. We're now above Armidale in the northern tablelands of New South Wales. This is the seat recline button. There's a 5-inch recline. The other button is for the pop-out calf rest. We're cruising at 37,000 feet. Let's check out the seating in economy. There are 127 economy seats on this aircraft. Welcome to one of the seats in economy. Seating in economy is in a 2x3 arrangement, the same as in a 717. It's certainly a bit narrower, not as much pitch, obviously, as in business class. Still seems pretty comfortable. These seats also have USB-A and C charging ports. They feature a tablet holder and a sliding tray table. And unlike business, there are AC sockets shared between every 2 seats. Here's a quick look at the cabin, including the large overhead bins. There are 29 rows. There are 2 toilets at the rear for economy passengers, but before we head back to our seat, let's check out the toilet for business class passengers at the front. Hello and welcome to the business class lavatory on the A220. It's actually a lot quieter in here than I expected, which is great. It's pretty standard basic bathroom. We've obviously got our water, hand soap, some tissues, and of course, down here's the toilet. There's also a baby change table. Interestingly, it's not a motion activated sensor. You have to press the button to get the water. They also seem to have run out of paper towels under here. Oh well, there's still tissues. So you might be wondering how to find one of these flights and how much they cost. Currently, the A220 is only operating from Melbourne to Brisbane and Melbourne to Canberra. If you do a search between Melbourne and Brisbane, you'll see most flights are operated by 737s. However, if you look for flights operated by QantasLink National Jet Systems, you should find some A220 services. This flight is $236 Australian dollars in economy and more than $1,300 in business, although I'm sure you can find sale fares from time to time. I purchased an economy flight and used frequent flyer points to upgrade to business. We've now started our descent into Queensland's capital. I'm chatting to a Qantas pilot sat next to me who's telling me the differences between flying a 787 and a 737. We land on runway 19 left. A last look at the seat. Decent legroom. The pitch is 37 inches compared to 30 inches in economy. We arrived just ahead of schedule. Conveniently, we've parked next to the E190 that will operate my connecting flight to Adelaide. Yes, I flew Melbourne to Adelaide via Brisbane just to be able to try this aircraft. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you too. Enjoy the 737. Thank you. Bye-bye. The A220 is such a modern, quiet aircraft. I think it's my new favourite narrow body. What can I say about the A220? It's a very comfortable modern jet with like all the mod cons that you could want. It's relatively quiet, really good, really enjoyable. Definitely would love to fly in one again. We get another look at the A220 from on board my flight to Adelaide. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my future videos. Hope to see you then.